All right, welcome back. It is Wednesday, the 25th of February, and the weather's actually taking a turn for the better. So I haven't been out here in a week and a half, 2 weeks now, because my wife ended up in the hospital and we was down there for 6 days. And of course, those 6 days that we was there, it was like 63 degrees here. But it is what it is. She's more important than this thing, than this business and whatnot. So we took care of her and got all that squared away. So tonight, it's windy out, but it's not cold out. It's like 45, 43, something like that. So I'm in the garage, so the wind doesn't matter. I'm going to turn on some tunes. I'm going to jam out here and try to get some things done. My plan tonight is to get the front clip, hood, and the doors off of this thing. I've got some more cutting wheels on order. They say they'll be here today, but I don't know if they will or not. So we're going to work with what we got. We're going to get the hood off first, get it out of the way. It's scrap. It needs to go anyway. So then just see how far we get along. I'm not going to ramble for long. I'm going to show you what we got done tonight before I call it a day. And then we'll keep going on this thing. All right, so I've been working for a little while. I don't even know what time it is. Not terribly long. I've been making good progress. So show you what I've gotten done so far, and then we're going to do a big reveal. So I got the whole front clip off. I ended up busting the nose, the fiberglass part. It was already broke, so that wasn't a big deal. I'm not going to keep that nose. I'll strip it down. I'll pull like the headlight rings and maybe the headlight buckets, I don't know yet, out of it, and the rest of it will go. Got the passenger door off. You can see both front seats are off and out. The shifter's out. Both front seatbelt latches are out, and the seat belts are undone. They're still mounted to the roof, but they are undone. So we're going to do a reveal. So I got working on this, and you can see these floors, at least this is the rear floor, is actually super freaking clean. So we're going to check the fronts. I ended up cutting the carpet out because, you know, it's never going to be reused. But this is what happens to these cars. You can see that's all moisture from who knows what. But look at these floors. I'm amazed that this car actually has nice floors. This insulation padding is just the evilness. Now, being an L body, these are known to rust up inside the wheel well here as well. To get to that, you have to lost my light. You have to remove this rubber mat, and I believe you have to unbolt the gas pedal. Can't see it in this video. The gas pedal has to come out of the way because I think those bolts for the gas pedal go through this pad. I'm going to go ahead and try to remove it. It's very difficult to remove because it's up in behind the dash. But there's a quick, if you can see it. My light's not in the greatest spot. But yeah, super clean floors. And that is unusual for an L body. You can see there's there's a little scaling, but there is no holes. I don't know if I've ever seen an L body that doesn't have a rotted floor. So what does that make me? I don't know. To some, it's going to make me a total freaking a-hole. But to me, I could care less. You don't like it, you should have bought the damn thing. And then spent, all the money to fix the front clip because it's all jacked up. And then fix everything else. But this car definitely has taken... Now, I haven't checked the passenger side yet. So it might be rotten over there, but I don't suspect it is. Normally, it's the driver's side is the worst of the two. And I think a lot of that's because, the driver's side's used more. So through the years, more moisture and salt and debris and junk gets through the driver's side carpet and whatnot. But anyways, my original plan was to, just strip the car and move on. But now with it having good floors, I'm thinking about cutting here and then the C-pillar, and basically the A-pillar, B-pillar, C-pillar on both sides, and taking the roof off. And then I'm going to remove the dash. I'm going to remove the windshield. Because as of right now, the windshield I don't see any cracks. I haven't looked closely, but I didn't see any cracks. Remove the dash, remove the windshield, and I'm thinking about coming up just below the windshield line and basically cutting the tub out of this thing somewhere, somehow, and trying to find a buyer for the entire tub. I'll probably come in either below the rear seat or just behind the rear seat. I don't know yet. So basically, if you've seen the video on the Horizon, Silver Horizon, how it only weighed like 700 some pounds, that's what's going to happen to this car as well. We're going to end up cutting it down as much as I can and saving as much as we can. Obviously, the quarter panels are both junk, so we're not going to worry about those. But we're going to worry about the tub. Yeah, so I haven't gotten that far. I'm going to wait for my buddy to come over and give me some better direction. I know I could drill out the spot welds and cut it, that way. But, man, that's such a pain in the butt to do. So, anyways, you see this fender's off. I didn't get the hood off yet, but this was, well, you can kind of, it's hard to see, but this piece right down in here is the driver's or passenger side headlight bucket assembly, and it just completely busted out when I went to pull the front clip off. But again, like I said, it was already broke, so there's no loss there, and we've got like 6 of them on hand, so like I really need another one. So with that said, I'm probably about done for the night. I'm not going to get the driver's door tonight. I'll worry about it later. My feet are cold, and it's getting to be time to go in the house and ship parts and call it a night. So until then, we'll see you on the next one. All right, so it's Friday now. Didn't do anything out here last night, so we're going to work out here tonight. It's a little late in the day for me. Normally, I'm out here before this time of the night, but had some things I had to do in the house first. So tonight I'm going to work on getting this carpet on the passenger side, actually just all the carpet out of the car. We have somebody really interested in the floors from this car, so that's a process to cut all those out. So I'm trying to get the ball rolling on that, and maybe we can have enough time, and I don't want to be rushed. So we're going to work on getting the carpet out. It shouldn't take very long. I'm going to cut it and rest the weight in half, and then we'll see what the passenger floor looks like. All right, all the carpet's out, all the padding is out. So the only thing that's left is a little bit of that rubber stuff on the driver's side. I'll work on getting the rest of that out here in a second, but here's what we got. So it's wet, okay? This is water just laying there, but the floors themselves are very, very, very solid. Even up in the wheel wells is solid. The only issue is it appears somebody may have used a jack under here at some point in time, and this is heaved up. However, you can see it's got a little spot right there where it's been crushed at the seam. It's still solid right there, but it's definitely going to need a little bit of work around this plug. So about here up into the hump here, and you can see right here where it's kind of pinched at the top. So with that said, obviously I'm happy that the floors are good on this car, because now, at least we'll be able to salvage them, and they can go on to a more proper home. But the problem is now I'm going to have to cut all these out. And if you've never cut out floors in one of these cars, it's kind of a bear. You can come along. So the easiest way that I've found to do this is the gas tank sits right in here. So if you get the tank out of the way, and then you can get cut right above this lip, or even just below. I'd probably try to go above and go all the way across. But then when you get into these corners, you're either going to have to come through here and down into the rocker panel, and then you got to come into the front somewhere and cut across. So probably in this general area, go in and cut all the way around and then all the way across and back around. Now, what you run into is right about, and again, this isn't exact, right in this general area, you can see these circles. Those are spot welds. And what those do is those are attached, the floor pan is attached to the frame rail on the front section in those spot welds. The ideal thing to do is to drill all them spot welds out, and there's a bunch. And they actually, no, on the Daytona anyways, they come up into the seat bar and then actually behind the seat bar too. So you got to go from here all the way up to the footwell and up a part way up the firewall to get all those welds out. That is a job. I did that once in a Daytona a few years back, and it was my first time ever doing it, and I vowed then that it would be my last time ever doing it. So what we done on a Horizon, as you saw the silver Horizon that weighed next to nothing, we actually just went in here and behind the wheel. We went up in here somewhere and just cut the entire frame rail. So now we have the floor pan with the frame rail. For ours purposes, we were going to keep that floor pan for the blue GLH. However, if that car gets parted, we won't be needing it either. But we're not going to do anything with it currently. Right now, I need to figure out what I'm going to do on this pan and how much of an effort it is for us to get that pan cut out. So ideally, lost you. Sorry, I'm trying to set my phone up. So ideally, the way to do this would be for the person to just come here and take the shell, buy the whole shell, and then they can have, you know, as much floors as they needed. I would obviously take the engine transmission out, more of the engine than the transmission. I would be removing the rear parts of the rear axle, the front hubs, rear hubs and spindles, things, the windshield. They would just get a shell, pretty much, because I'm going to keep the hatch, even though I don't like keeping hatches, but this one is super clean, so I'll keep it. Somebody hopefully someday will need it. If not, we'll worry about that later. They would get the hood because the hood's all beat to hell anyway, so it ain't no good. Anyway, basically what I'm getting at is they would get a rolling shell, and then they could take it home and do what they want, which normally that would be fine. The problem is that they are not in America. They're in Canada. I don't know what kind of issues they would run into taking a shell of a car from the U.S. into Canada, even though it's obviously not a roadworthy car. It wouldn't be at that point in time. So him and I'm going to discuss that with them and see kind of what they're thinking. I know he had said he just needs the floor pans, which is fine, but it's going to create more work. So if he doesn't want to do this, then it will be easy enough to find somebody that will. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm trying to keep this thing so I can get it to try to start. But now I've got seats and doors and nose and fenders and now carpet all scattered throughout this whole garage. So I really don't even have room to get to the engine currently. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do exactly yet. But with that said, I'll probably go ahead and try to cut the passenger or driver's door off. So that's done. I need to get the hood off so I can get the engine out just because it's for clearance, but I really don't feel like trying to get it back on. This is tough when you're doing it by yourself. So quick rant, not really a rant. I'm going to ask you questions. So if you're selling parts, as you know, by now we sell a lot of parts on eBay. So we just had a return request on a $70 part that we paid the shipping on, which is fine. We have it set up that way. Well, they want to return the item. And the reason for the returning the item isn't because, it's because changed my mind. What would you do? Me personally, I wish I could tell them no. Unfortunately, eBay does not allow that, so we are required to accept the return, and then upon receiving the return, we're required to refund them. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to do some more research once it gets that time that we can charge a restocking fee. So maybe I should charge a restocking fee minus the shipping that we paid. So I'd have to sit down and do all the math to figure that out. But what would you do if you were in our situation? Yeah, so it is what it is. It's part of doing business. So I'm not upset that the return's coming back. It just bothers me that they can just return something because they change their mind. And then the other problem I run into is it's a wheel spindle. How do I know that I'm getting the wheel spindle I sent them back? How do I know that they're not going to send me a junk wheel spindle? And then I've got to go down that rabbit hole with eBay. Time will tell. We'll see. We've had returns in the past. People did a return and actually never returned the item. They just kept it, and it expires after so many days. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I was just curious what your opinion was, what you thought you would do, and see what you say. So with that said, it's nice outside. It's like 55, sunny. I'm in the garage, obviously. So let's get something done. All right, so it's Saturday and it's very beautiful outside. The weather's warm. It's like mid-50s or something like that. So we're gonna go do some shopping here later. So I come out here for a little while to work on this. I was able to get the doors, the hatches off. I'll show you in a second. And the fenders cleaned up, and they're all put in the building for now. Hopefully we can get them sold, and soon. I'd rather sell stuff quickly rather than hold on to it because I'm tired of being a storage unit. So anyways, still working the deal on the floors. If that doesn't come through, then I've already got a second buyer lined up. So this is where we're at. We're going to finish this video out today and then start next week's, probably Monday. Tomorrow, I think the plan is we're just going to work in the basement on inventory. It's supposed to get cold again and whatnot. So I'm going to spend the day in the basement. So this is the nose. As you knew, it was busted up, and then I had to cut it, so it's junk. I did get the headlight bezels and the buckets out of it. They're not worth a ton of money, but we have sold them in the past. Still haven't touched other than before, trying to get it to run. I'm still trying to figure out how to get it to crank. I wanted to get all this other stuff done so that's done. This is my next project. I can get all the stuff out of the way, the doors and whatnot put away. And so now I have a little extra room in the front of here. And I'll be able to work on getting that done. The dash is ready to pull. I still got the 8mm bolts across the top and the one on each corner on the bottom. And then drop the steering column. But that's ready to go. I've never seen one of these through my years of doing this. That these vents, this is the defrost vent. I don't know how well you can hear me, but they just crumbled in my hand as I was going up in there to remove the metal trim. They're that bad. So it is what it is. We got the headliner out. I'll show you that. The headliner boards on these are known for going bad or being bad. They're pretty brittle. It's like a cardboard, fiber board. I don't even know what it is, to be honest with you. It's dirty, but it's not broke, other than it's got one little spot right here, and you can see there's lovely. So, I'll try to sell it. If not, then I'll bust it up and put it in this car or next car going. So I got the hatch off. This is all junk. This is all part of that trade deal we did a while back, a week or so ago. That was my air. Yeah, all that is just junk. There wasn't a good piece in that deal, except for a few little pieces here and there. So anyways, it is what it is. Lesson learned. That's why from this point forward, we're cash only. There's no more. I'm not trading unless it's a complete car. So we're still hoping that that deal is supposed to include a car when he's done with it. So hopefully that still comes through. So we're gonna, take our punches and keep on going. So Anyway, taillights out. Driver's door is off. And then again, like I said, it's put away. So I still got a few gauges that I got to pull. Just some little stuff. Now the majority of the stuff is done. The next hardest part is going to be obviously pulling the engine and the transmission. I'm not going to keep the transmission. I will. What I'll do with the transmission is I'll just strip it down, and sell pieces and parts off of it, because that's easier than trying to sell whole transmission. And also, the guy that we got the car from said it had a transmission issue, and these are known, as I mentioned before, of having fairly weak transmissions. So, anyways, trying to think what else. That's about it, really. Just keep plugging away on this car. Hopefully, we was going to try to go today to pick up the 83 that we're getting. Unfortunately, the gentleman, he wasn't ready, which is fine. It's not a big deal. So we're going to keep plugging away on this one. I heard that scrap prices are way up, so I'd like to try to get this done. It's not worth a lot in scrap, but it's 4 cents a pound more right now. So, it all adds up. But like, follow, subscribe. Let me know what you think. If you want to see a how-to on any of this stuff, let me know. And we'll keep on working on these. Catch you later.